So, if I could get my car into reverse, I want to talk about fear of being trans. And the strange thing is, the fear I'm talking about this time, about being trans, isn't with, being mugged or robbed or, beat up and, the horrible things that do happen, in real life. But I'm talking about fear of our protectors. Fear of when everything goes to shit, they're going to be there. Fear of the police. And I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. A place where we don't have great history between the police and the citizens. But I'm going to talk about from my own perspective and my own fears. See, we just had a truly, words can't even describe it, horrific massacre. I mean, just to say it, it's like, it's between unreal and heart-wrenching. And that's how our city is right now. I mean, we're heartbroken, and that's really tough. It's really tough on us as a city. And there's lots of people like me that I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do, but it's tearing at me because people came to see our city and this happened. But something happened during it that is what I want to talk about, which is the Las Vegas Police Department, Las Vegas Metro Police. Like many people I know, like most all the trans that I know, and like this city I believe to be, we fear our police. Because they police and protect by force. And force, there's no conversation to. Force is one direction. And it's a way to get the job done, but it's not the way. Force is lonely and solo. It's not encompassing. So it doesn't encompass the citizens and, definitely not the trans community. But during this incident, this mass shooting, that who knows why, or who knows how many, or who knows, you know what? All that aside, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department did an amazing job. I saw pictures and faces of men that were boys. I saw vulnerability and bravery. Oh my God, bravery. You don't know what's going on. You're not trained to look up. These guys saved a lot of lives. A lot were lost. Too many. One's too many and something like that. But what we saw with the firepower and the bullets, whether it was one guy or 10, there was a lot more killing that could have been done. And I applaud Las Vegas Metro Police Department for their job well done. And I want to thank them. But I can't. I can't. Because I fear them. And my fear is based upon my experience. Here's one that's got somebody pulled over. I'm surprised there's only one cop there when this car's pulled over, because we're used to seeing 2 or more cars per traffic stop. Oh, well, there's 2 cops in the car getting in. But they gave me the good eyeball there. Police by force. It's one way. In the shooting, you saw the people, you saw the boys that are now men, and their faces showing the vulnerability. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know if bullets were coming or if they were still going to be more. They didn't know if they were going to have to pull the trigger. They were not in control. It was not on their turf. And police are used to that. But they did it. And they did it with power. They did it with power. And that power is still there. And that power can change a city. That power can change the world, but I'm more concerned with Las Vegas. Why can't I talk to them? I'm going to tell you. God, I want to go up and I just want to, like those guys, I want to just stop and say thank you. I mean, they did it. And they showed they could do it. Right on. I'm going to cry. Because one day I had my house broken into. And I mean, I was a boy for years, whether you believe it or not. And I always dreamed about having a girl's bedroom. I'd see pictures of the princess bedroom or whatever, just feminine bedroom. And I wanted that so bad. But I was pretty boy. And when I moved here to transition to Las Vegas, and I bought my house, which I own, I got to build a bedroom built for a woman. I mean, it was a girl's room, down to a dance pole, right? It was a dream room. And I was seeing, this rich person at the time, and it was pretty cool. And, sorry, I got a rejected call. This person would always have, some issues going on with whatever, and I would consult them, And in my purse, I'd find a thank you note. And the thank you note was always written on like a $100 bill. And it seemed way out there and so forth. But man, I lived it. I had that. It was way, way cool. And it went on for years. So I mean, I had $100 bills with these thank yous, and it was awesome. But they weren't $100 bills anymore. I mean, once that type of note is written on it, it's a memoir. It's there's no value. And so I had some of them, a bit. And before I transitioned, at my final days, as a male, I did a lot of fundraising in the alternative sex community. And so, we'd get cash donations, and I'd bundle them up, and then I'd, give them to whichever charity we were going to give them to. And so, it's easier to hold on to them than to go to the bank and do all of the, legal mumbo jumbo. Just kind of this way, just pass them on. So my house is broken into. I go upstairs, and my dream bedroom is upside down. It's torn up. I was heartbroken. I mean, I was like, I had to call the police to make a police report. This was my first dealing with Metro, and I call them. They come out. And what do I hear? What are you doing with so much money in your house? Now, it wasn't that much. I mean, I had some money, but it wasn't that much. Not for what I'm used to. That's not my upbringing. I told them that. Why do you have so much money in the house? I told them the whole story. And I was met again with, why do I have so much money in the house? They were asking with force. They can't hear. It's one thing, and they're set on it, and they're going to get it, and it's force. I went so far to offer to show them that I have a fine banking account, that I don't need to, I'm well off. I was. Then I bought all this stuff. So it turned into being violated twice. Once by the good guy, once by the bad guy. I was violated 2 times. $7-Eleven, right here, right on the corner, right by my house. I go there all the time, and I don't always dress the. I dress on the edge of sexy. And I have a friend that comes in from Lake Havasu. He's kind of he's old friend. He's like my crying shoulder, But you could call him the appearance of trailer trash, But man, he's got a great shoulder to cry on. And I go down to 7-Eleven, and he's with me. We go in, everything's fine. We're kind of giggling, and go out and get in my car. 2 cops are in the parking lot. Their cars are parked kind of like that, so they're talking to each other. And I pull out of the driveway, and I mean, they're on my tail. I'm being followed. I go a block, I turn onto my street, there goes the lights, I'm being pulled over. Surprise, surprise, right? The officer comes up to my window. And explains to me that he pulled me over because I had a flower hanging from my mirror. So I'm like, excuse me? Here comes the force. You have a flower hanging from your mirror. I'm like, and that's against the law? He said it obstructs your view. It's obstruction of view. He says, in fact, that little sticker in the back of your car, which is, just a little tiny one that I keep like in the, the corner of the car in the back window, I could pull you over for that. That's obstruction of view. I'm like, are you really serious? And what do you think I was met with? Step out of the car. I have a flower hanging from my mirror. I'm trans in Las Vegas. Please step out of the car. I say, for a flower hanging from my mirror, this side of my car I get, step out of the car, ma'am. Hi, baby. I didn't know what to feel, Gotta let my dog out here. Come here, babe. Come here, Abby. But what I felt was, here's that power again, one-way street. Can't really talk. What do you have in the car? Nothing. I mean, I got my paperwork, maybe some trash. Can we search your car? No. Oh, well, then you must be hiding something. This isn't power. This is force. Ladies and gentlemen, this is force. Okay? This is a one-way conversation. My words aren't being heard, except for no. Well, if you don't have anything in the car, then we must, be able to. No, you can't search my car. I mean, I have that right. Doesn't matter. Why? I don't even know why I was talking, because I'm going against force. And scary. And I'm telling you, this went on. This went on to the point that I'm now afraid that this guy has a drop bag. Something that they plant and then they find it. and I thought it still wasn't around, but I'll tell you what it is. And so then he says to me, we let go through the car. And I say, if you justify one reasonably sensible reason for you to go through the car, I'd say yes, but there's no reason. The two of them are standing there in a forced position, you know, when they're upright and their hands are on their belt and they're talking to you all official. That's not a two-way street. And the officer says to me, we're in fear of our safety. I thought my comeback was good. Officer, you see how I'm dressed? You could tell if I have anything on me. And you two are standing there with guns. Who should be in fear of their safety? I explained to him, I'm not playing roadside attorney. It's just, I'm not going to submit to fear and force. Power would be him being able to explain why. So, I don't like to deal with Metro. I think they prejudged me and the trans that I know and put us into a class that's immediately responded to, you know, with a certain prejudgment. See, it's not a question of if I'm a criminal or do illegal activities or not. If someone's saying hello to somebody, they're saying hello. If I'm engaged in a criminal activity, treat me like a criminal. Not a flower hanging from the mirror. Not, hey, somebody broke into my house and excuse me if I make some money. I'm not guilty until I'm proven innocent. And that creates fear, and that's the state that I'm in, and that's the state many of us are in, and makes it that I can't say thank you to a department that right now I respect greatly. It breaks my heart